You ever do that thing where you're just sitting somewhere, maybe a coffee shop or a park bench, and you start making up stories for the complete strangers around you, giving them these secret lives, a whole dramatic past? Well, today, we're diving deep into the mind of someone who has basically turned that into an art form. It's a secret game, all played out in the quiet corners of his local pub.
And that's really the heart of it for the people watcher we're following. He sees it as this deeply personal, almost generous thing, giving strangers a whole new history to, as he puts it, justify their humdrum existences. He's letting us into his secret world, so let's step inside.
All right, so every great observer needs their spot, right? A sanctuary, a place to just watch the world go by. For our narrator, that place is a pub.
The Ernest Willows, it turns out, is pretty much perfect. It's big, it's bright, and most importantly, it's quiet. It's hardly ever so busy that he has to queue for a drink. And for our narrator, believe me, avoiding a queue is a matter of high principle. You know, to really get this guy, you've got to understand his quirks. He's not really bothered by the big political issues of the day. Nope. For him, it's the small, everyday annoyances that really get under his skin. And honestly, this focus on the little details is probably what makes him such a sharp observer of people. So, this is the game. He's not just idly watching, he is actively creating. With a nice pint of Guinness in hand, anyone who wanders into his line of sight gets a brand new life, a whole new alter ego. It's his way of sprinkling a little magic on the mundane. So you ready? Let's meet some of his creations.
He looks across the room and spots one of his early and still favorite creations. It's a woman, just sitting quietly by herself. But in his world, she is anything but quiet.
Okay, so these are the simple facts, right? A woman, alone, making a single drink last for hours, and that constant glance towards the doors, what could she be waiting for? In the real world, maybe just a friend who's running late, but in our narrator's world, oh, it's something way more dramatic than that.
And here is where the imaginative leap happens. From a quiet pub patron to Violeta Diaz, a legendary revolutionary fighter coming out of retirement to lead the Welsh against the English. I mean, what an incredible transformation.
See, in his story, every single detail has a purpose. Those glances at the door aren't just an idle habit. They are loaded with meaning. She's not waiting for a friend. She's waiting for her followers, her delegates. She's waiting to be hailed as a savior.
Okay, so next, our narrator turns his attention to another table, and sitting there is one of his favorite conceptions, an elderly man who, on the surface, well, he couldn't look more harmless.
So look at the details here. The stooped posture, those really thick glasses, the local paper. He seems like a pretty typical pensioner, maybe trying to make his snack last. But our narrator sees right past the ordinary to find something truly extraordinary.
And there it is. This isn't just an old man. This is Junior, an elderly mafia boss on the run. He's not just reading the local news, he's scanning for threats. That cheap snack isn't about saving money. It's about keeping a low profile while hiding for his life.
The logic is kind of flawless, isn't it? It's the perfect cover. I mean, who would ever suspect a powerful mob boss is just hiding in plain sight, blending in with people living their quiet, everyday lives? It's genius.
But now, scanning the pub, our narrator spots a potential new member for his exclusive club. And this one might just be his masterpiece.
So, let's consider the clues, the perfect arc of that frown, the baggy clothes, and then those enormous size 14 shoes. All the pieces are there, and the whiskey suggests a story full of sorrow. So, who is this man?
And then it dawns on him. Of course, it can only be one person, Harry Grimaldi, a famous circus clown. But he's not here to make people laugh. He's on the run, a fugitive from his own comical past, haunted by a terrible secret.
So the narrator builds this whole narrative. The tragedy starts with a slapstick routine gone horribly wrong. Custard pie remnants get in his eyes. This leads to a frantic chase scene with Keystone cops, and you guessed it, more pies. And it all ends here, in this quiet pub, where he's just trying to drink away the guilt.
But even in his sadness, he can't escape his past. The habits of a clown, they die hard. The theatrical nose blowing, the streams of tears, it's like a performance of grief. A blend of deep melancholy and the pure muscle memory of his former life.
So after creating these rich, detailed inner lives for total strangers, our narrator is left with one final introspective thought.
There's a real joy in this for him, It's a creative act that brings a smile to his face, transforming his quiet afternoon into a theater of secret revolutionaries, mob bosses, and tragic clowns. But all this joy, it leads him to a pretty fascinating question.
And that's the question he leaves us with. He's been the observer, the creator, the god of this little world. But what if the roles were reversed? As he sits there, a quiet man with a pint of Guinness, what secret life are they inventing for him?
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? What do you think your alter ego would be?